This is a lot. I'm going to emphasize that. We have two practices. We are the Friday night walkthroughs and game days, and these kids are doing a lot. They're learning a lot. They're beating each other up. They're sweating. They're sometimes they'll bleed. They're limping and all that stuff. This is a lot. To have them now miss some of this and miss practices and miss games because they're committed to do something else is hard. It's hard on me as coach, it's hard on my assistants as coaches, but it's hard on them. It's hard on them because I can't trust that they're going to make a position that is going to be there on Sunday, that they're going to be there on practice time. If I have someone who is a starting linebacker and he's got baseball, he has soccer, and he makes one practice a week instead of two, and he doesn't make my walkthroughs, he's not my starting linebacker. He's not. He can be the best kid on this team. He's not my starting linebacker. Anyone has questions on that, you can bring it to me at the time saying, why is Bobby not there in starting linebacker when he's the best kid on the team? And I'm going to tell you because he's missing all this. And I can't do that. It's not fair to the kids who are here. It's not fair to us as a team. All right? So keep that in mind as we progress. Going through. Season, we start the weekend after Labor Day. Will be our first game. We don't have schedule yet. Typically our games are Sundays. Because we're older now, it moves the shifts a little bit, so maybe Sunday morning, late morning, early afternoon is typically what we'll be. We could very well have a night game under the lights, which for anybody who hasn't done it, they're awesome. Everyone loves it, right? Last year we had the fortune of having a game rescheduled to a Monday night under the lights, and that was awesome. I got asked by Wanto if I wanted to shift my game to Monday night. I'm like, you kidding? Yes. I didn't even ask parents, and no one said no. Right? That's cool. So if we're lucky, we'll get a night game, right? Or two. It happens, we may not, but we'll see. Schedule's a little shoddy. You typically get your schedule, you'll get one game, it might be a couple of days before. And then you'll get 1 to 2 games, and then you get the full schedule. That's typically how it comes. I'm sorry, right? It's the league, they've got all these organizations and all these levels of ages trying to get them ready for the season. The big problem is refs. Refs are hard to come by, so they have to really make sure they have refs that cover all the games. So that's why that happens. So bear with us. Plan for Sunday morning, afternoons, and the occasional gift of a Saturday or maybe even a Friday night. We'll see. We play 8 games. In case you're not sure, play 8 games. If we make playoffs, we're a 2-game playoff. It's win and lose. Win or go home, basically. So you got one round and then you got a championship game. Right? Last year we made the championship game in the C division. We were fortunate to be there, and we lost in overtime for whoever was there. Whoever wasn't there, it was a heartbreaking loss. But we're looking forward to continuing to be there. So 8 games, plan for +2. Right? That +2 pushes you to second weekend in November. If I remember last year what that was, pretty much. Right, is what I think that was. All right, so please keep that in mind as you're planning trips and getting away or something like that. I'm sure nobody wants to miss a championship game if you've worked hard to get there, right? So keep that in mind, please. Any questions on that? All right. All right. I talked about playing time and positions. Last year, for everyone who was here last year, I think we did a good job at rotations. I think we did a good job. And the reason why I say I think we did is because no one complained during the season. None of you complained to me during the season about why isn't he in, why isn't he getting more time. So I think we did a good job. I'm on the field, I'm focused on plays, it's hard for me to observe. I have coaches who work to make sure there's rotations. I want to improve it though. I want to improve our how we rotated kids last year and so forth, right? So I as one of my commitments to you and to the kids is that going into every game, I'm gonna have a plan and working with the coaches, right? We're gonna have a coach at each position. And each position is gonna have a group of kids that they're gonna manage during games, in, out, in, out, in, out. I'm gonna work to make sure we have a plan to make sure to ensure that our starters get their reps, our seconds and thirds get their reps. So it doesn't matter where you are on the pecking order, you're gonna get playing time. You're gonna get burned out there in the field. You're gonna learn. Now, playing time in a game is dependent. If the score is 28 to nothing in the first quarter and we're up, I'm going to make sure our seconds and thirds are getting more burn. Starters are going to have to work and be leaders on this team and say, hey, I'm absolutely good with this. I understand. Let's make sure everybody's playing. If we're down 28-0 in the fourth quarter, I'm going to do the same thing. At that point, there's no coming back from that big a deficit. I don't plan to be down that much, but hey. So I'm going to work that as the season progresses, as the games go along, making sure we're getting good rotations. Hopefully everyone will be happy with it, right? I hope making everybody happy with that. Now, playoffs can be a little bit of a different beast. Playoffs, and I look at this, right? I have 2 goals on this season, 3 goals. One is to keep these boys safe. Keep them boys safe, keep them happy, have them having fun playing this game. 2 is to take these bunch of 9 and 10-year-olds and make them stronger, make them bigger, make them happier, make them fulfilled in that they're on a team. I love team. This is my favorite sport out of anything I've ever played because you're out there in the trenches together. You're one. You're battling together and you're learning what it means to rely on him and him and him, and you're coming together and you're making bonds here. And my goal is to see that happen. Kids from different schools and different towns all coming together is a fantastic thing. So I'm here to see that growth and to help that growth happen. Third, I'm here to win. We're here to win. This isn't T-ball anymore. This isn't everyone's getting a trophy. I sat there last year and I had to confront my team as we lost in overtime, tears across the board. All of them devastated. Some of those kids didn't see the field, unfortunately, and they were devastated. They know what it means to win, and they know what it means to lose. They don't go here. They're not doing this because they just want to have fun, because they just want to hang out with their boys. If that's what this is to anyone over there, I don't sense that it is. By all means, go play flag football. Go do play dates. This isn't a play date, right? I'm here to ride them. I'm here to give them the tools and give them the experience and the practice and the know-how to be successful on that field and to win. I'm going into those games to win. That's clear. I got confronted last season, for those of you who were there, unfortunately, questioning my ability, questioning why are we playing the championship game to win? I don't understand it. That's not how I coached when I was successful. All that stuff. Right there in front of my kids as we lost, everyone in tears. I'm making it known now. I'm playing to win this game. They're here to win. Not one kid's gonna sit over there and say, yeah, coach, you made the championship game. I don't care. Not going to happen. So please, keep that in mind as we're doing this. Coming down here to win. There's intensity. I'm going to work to fire those kids up. Each one of those coaches are putting in the time and the effort to get these kids ready to go. All right, so keep that in mind, please. All right, so again, where I'm going with that with playoffs, again, rotations, everyone, last year, like I said, a couple of kids didn't touch the field. Bad, yes. I don't want that to happen again. But rotations as we go, I mean, it was a tight game the whole way. Right? We were never more than 1 score apart, right? So there was never an opportunity to say, hey, a little burn here, a little burn there. It was tough. But it was on me. That should never happen. And I don't want that to happen again. But times and opportunities may dwindle a little bit in that championship game. But I don't want that to happen. I'm just getting all right, the 6-10 already. All right. Real quick, my commitment to everybody. And I kind of hit a couple of things, but this is it. I'm always watching them. My job right now is to sit here. As we're talking, I'm watching them over there. I'm always watching them. My eyes always on them, seeing what they're doing, how well they're doing, where they're lapsing, and what they're missing, all that stuff. I'm watching. And that's where I try to correct and I try to set them in the right path, and I try to help them grow. Always. My commitment is I'm always watching them. I'm not off in the side of the field. I'm not goofing around with parents over here or coaches over there ignoring this. We're aware, and that's big, right? I'm trying to provide a safe atmosphere, all right, and safe tackling. We're going to go through a lot of tackling drills, a lot of tackling progressions. Safe atmosphere. If someone appears hurt, if someone, I'll jump to concussions, right? Concussions is a big thing. We've been certified in concussion protocol, right? So if a kid, I'll talk about that. If a kid at any point in time shows any effects of a potential concussion, bad hit, a little wobbly, stays down a little longer. If I have reason to suspect a concussion, they're going to sit and they're not going back into the game. Right? They're not going back into the game. I could be wrong. I could be wrong, and you might be unhappy with that. But if I have reason to see I always go back to little Bobby and Johnny, I'm sorry. If he's coming off the field and he's doing this, and he can't talk to me straight, he's sitting. And I'm gonna let you know, I'll flag you down, and you can sit with him, you can take pads off, he's not going back in that game. And then we're gonna talk about what we need to do after that, right? If I took him out of a game for potential concussion, there's expectation as parents that you're getting him checked out. I tell you, he's not coming back into a practice without doctor's notes, right? The way this works is we'll put him on a concussion protocol. We want to see it. We want to see him, have him go to a doctor, get checked out. Doctor says he had a concussion. That means that he can't play, he can't practice again until a doctor says he's cleared for physical activity, right? And he is back in school, actively back in school, doing physical things in school, and then we work him back into the field. Work him back into the field, very light practices, no pads. Eventually you move up into pads, and then once you see a comfort level, we see he's okay, he's not, no headaches and all that stuff, then we get it going. I had a kid 2 years ago who missed 6 weeks. It was unfortunate, and I don't think he's fully recovered yet. So, and he didn't have that concussion on the field. Don't get scared. Don't get scared. Don't get scared. I haven't had anybody get a concussion in the game.
Next question.
No, I haven't seen anybody get hurt like that in the game.
Oh, yeah.
That was a backyard accident, and unfortunately, he spilled over into the season. So, yeah, I mean, I'll tell you what. Injuries on the field, I mean, as they get bigger, it tends to happen more, but they're still small. They're still small, right? So we don't see many of these injuries yet, but it can happen. So keep that in mind with concussions, very important. Again, they come off, like I said, right? So that's trying to keep safe. So we work on a lot of safe tackling drills, keeping the head out of play. And then when I played, you put your head right in there and you took it. Thank God we don't do that anymore. All right, rotations, all that. All right, I'm gonna end this on parent commitments. All right, so a couple of things I ask of parents, right? Again, I talked about one is please try to avoid those conflicts. Please try to get them here twice a week, 3 times a week, game days, ready, set, and ready to go. Avoid those conflicts. It's August, a couple of you have them already. Please knock them out, have fun, vacations, wherever you're going. Please try to keep them to a minimum. If they come up, let me know. Kids miss games, I get it. Kids miss practices, I get it. Just let me know. That's why I said in the schedule. All the games are there. All the practices are there. You don't need to respond yes to anything. My assumption is that each and every one of our 24 kids will be here. If you can't make it, just let me know. That's all I ask. Team, you're here on time for games and practices. Ready? Kids are ready to go. They're well fed. They're happy. All that good stuff. Parents for practices. You're off the field. All right, typically over there, everybody grabs a chair or something, they sit, they watch, they just chat amongst themselves. Stay off the field, please. Let's try to keep comments. If anybody's a barker or yeller, none of my returning parents were. Some of you new guys, who knows, maybe you are. Let's keep that to a minimum, please. If we're doing drills and we see someone's not doing a drill right, we see it. We don't need parent A and B yelling in at them to get their knees up and stuff like that. Let's keep that to a minimum. If you have questions to me, let's keep it for after practices. Let's keep that for after games. Right, I'll get to game things in a minute. Keep that for after practice. Let's not try to stop a practice so you can tell me why you didn't like his knees or something. Let's not do that. All right, so let's keep that out. Conduct. I'm going to mix conduct and alcohol together. Again, staying off the field in games, staying off the field in practices. Game days, you're in the stands, right? It's a tendency. Some people have a tendency to, let the refs know how they feel. I get it. Let's keep that to as good a minimum as you can. You say something once, let's keep it down. Get it off your chest. You're done. We're good. Don't let it keep going. The way it works is if it escalates. If it escalates to a point where a ref has to give me a warning, and I have to go turn my back this way now, I'm turning my back to my kids. I gotta turn my back this way to address it. You're on this close to being kicked out of the game, off the field. And the sad part about that is that when you leave the field, your kid's going with you. Your kid's going right there with you. And the sad part about that is that kid's not coming back for a week. Don't put yourself in that position. mad as you might be at a call or a missed call or something not happening, don't do it. Not worth it. All right? I don't want to get in trouble because just getting riled up. And the part of that has to do with alcohol. The basic rule is don't do it. Keep those solo cups and all that stuff out of the way. Keep your tailgating away from here. But I know better. So I ask you, keep it as inconspicuous as possible. For those of you who feel on the Sunday morning you want to sit in a ball game and have a beer in your hand, cool. Keep it as inconspicuous as possible. Don't let it be seen and visible. We have visiting teams sitting right here, they see it, and they complain to the league. We have parents who are sitting here complain to the league. We have refs complain to the league. If it gets loud, there's drunkenness, there's clearly bottles and all this stuff all over the place. It's a bad look for the organization. It's a bad look for our team. Let's not be that. So again, if you have to and you want it, cool. Keep it to yourselves. Keep it very as inconspicuous as possible. Keep it mellow. And lastly, questions, concerns, complaints, direct them at me. My coaches are out here. You can chat with them all you want. They're parents, right? Obviously, I'm not going to tell you not to talk to them. But if you really have a concern with how something's happening on the field, with the linebackers, with the offensive line or whatever, bring it to me. All right, and then we'll talk. I'll have conversations with you as why this, why that, and then I'll talk to them if something needs to change or whatever. But direct it at me. Don't bring them into it, right? They're as volunteer as I am, right? So keep it civil like that. And so that's basically my request as parents. Other than that, come and have fun. To me, again, this is the greatest sport ever. I love this sport. Right? I've played so many other ones, but this brings the most joy out of me. And getting the opportunity to do this with these kids is awesome. Any questions?
Good question. Super question, probably. What are special teams?
Special teams. After we score a touchdown or when you start a game, you kick the ball off to the other team. That's special teams. The way we did it last year and previously, the team would just start at the 40-yard line, 35 to 40-yard line.
Okay.
Right? So now you kick it off. Well, that's awesome because now it's a live play. You're kicking it, and now us are chasing after that ball, and we can go get that ball again. So it adds another level of competitiveness, right? And the stakes and all that stuff to the game where now we can take over. And plus, also after you score a touchdown, we have an opportunity to kick a point after. Point after is 2 points, or regular conversion is 1 point. Right? You can punt. We'll never punt. You ever see a punt? Punt is that when we're 4th and 50. You don't want to give them the ball with a punt. But you're not going to see that. I'll just go for it.
Okay.
So everybody should get opportunities in offense. Everybody's looking at opportunities in offense and defense, and most likely a special team. Right? So everyone's going to have a mix. Everyone's going to have basically 2 or 3 positions. One in offense, one defense, and stuff like that. So we mix it up. We have to deal with daylight, but if I'm under lights, as of right now, my thought is 6, the same 6. Let me figure that out. But my expectation would be under the lights, 6. If we did 7, then it would be like 7 to 8. Again, my goal is to make it as easy as possible for everybody to view as possible. Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday night walkthrough. Tuesday, Thursday, 6 to 8. And then the walkthrough right now is for 6 to 7:30. If we don't move it back a little bit, maybe 7 to 8:30. Other towns. This is Massapequa Air Force and we play other towns.
Their locations also?
Yeah. This is our home field. We travel back and forth, Franklin Square, Floral Park, Massapequa, Garden City. They come here, we go there. Yep.
4 and 4, right? 4 away, 4 home.
Say again?
4 home games,
4 home, 4 away. And then playoff, hopefully, the goal is to have home field in the playoffs in the first round. It was nice we were home field here. We beat up on Lynbrook, and then we played at Mitchell Field. Mitchell Field's over by Hofstra. Behind Hofstra is where you play the championship games. Coldest and windiest day every single year. That's a full-size practice field.
Lines and everything?
didn't really have lines last year.
We play here.
Your
This is-
line's never
this-
seen it here.
the
This is
line's-
our home field. Eventually, this will be all lined up. Anybody else? Anybody else? Yes. Yes. Figure Monday. Hopefully, we'll have everybody in. Monday, helmets. No pads. Helmets only on Monday. Wednesday, Wednesday, as of right now, we'll go pads on Wednesday. Full pads on Wednesday. Yeah. Unless I change that and push that to Thursday, but for right now, helmets on Monday.
Starting on Monday, I mean, are they wearing shorts or do you want them wearing?
Short still. Short still on Monday. Helmets only. Well, it can be
Like Wednesday when they put the pads on, you want them?
yes.
You want them in the
Yes.
pads?
Yeah. That would either be Wednesday or Thursday. We'll go full pads.
Like, are you gonna put that on the app or something?